Hi again. We are blasting through an open source SDK module that we're working on. We're just about to finish writing all the tests for 100% code coverage for the first two tiny classes that exist. And to finish up, we need to go back here to the test code coverage and see we're not testing this get method, or the behavior at least of this. So how do we do that? Well, if we go back and we look at the index.php file, I always have to check that I'm not muted. Anyway, if we go back and look at this index.php file, we'll see that one of the ways we can send an email is to say client create transmission. And we're testing this already. Another is to say client transmission create. And this property doesn't actually exist. It's just using the get method, which is what we need to test. So how do we do that? Pretty simple. Public function, it creates transmission proxy. We have to mark this as a test or it won't be run and we'll wonder forever why not. Let's get another mock because we're going to need it. And we could abstract this to a helper method. Not going to do that right now though. Client, we create a new client instance. And all that we do to test this, I am totes not AFK. I was just on a break. Welcome to the stream. All that we need to do to test this is to go this assert instance of, and what we expect is a transmission. No, I will import it here. Use transmission. What we expect is an instance of the transmission class. And what do we get? Client transmission. Okay, now this will create an instance of the transmission class, which we can't really help because we're not abstracting how we're creating transmissions. We just want to test that when you do call the transmission property on the client class, that what you get is an instance of the transmission proxy class. Does this work? Let's run our unit tests. No errors. And have we successfully covered that code? Ooh, minimized. Yes, we have. It's not going to say we've done this 100% because we're still not returning from the bottom of here. And this is that return mixed problem that we had before. Should we just return null? Seems like it might be a quick fix to get rid of this problem. Return null. Does that get rid of the inspection problem? No. It's not missing anymore. Update your inspections. Okay. Let's run this again. Oh, because we're not actually running that. Hey. This is assert null, client foo. Okay, there we go. So it seems in order to fully test the get magic method, we need to make sure that if we're not calling some valid property, it's going to give us null. But if we are, like transmission, which is in the alias property, that it'll give us an instance of the transmission class. Anyway, long story short, we have successfully tested the tiny library that we began a while ago and finished PHP doc commenting it. So there are a few things we do at this point as good open source developers. The first is we delete the file that we were using to just run random tests. The second is we make sure that our sensitive config details, like in this config.php file, are ignored from going onto GitHub. We have unit tests here, and we can generate code coverage from this, but we don't have integration files for Scrutinizer and Travis. So let's go to a project I know has them, Doorman, and get the configs from there. They're pretty standard, which is cool. Come on, why is this taking so long to load? Dun, dun, dun. Is my connection to the internet going down? I hope not. Come on. Status says major service outage. No ways. That's from 9 minutes ago. Wow, first time ever that's happened. Actually got on stream and seen GitHub has service problems. Quick, let me make 1,000 requests. Wow, that is super slow. Let me see if I've got a backup copy of this. Async PHP, there we go. Okay. Code of conduct, contributing.md, license, and the other files are hidden. Okay, never mind. Open dot. Okay, so we have some new files here. We need to copy that to this directory, scrutinizer to this directory. I think that was all. Let's go back into PHP Storm and check. Wow, that XML syntax highlighting. Okay, code of conduct. Some people don't like this, some people do. I do like code of conduct in all the places, so this is a file I like to add to the repos. License is a very important file to add as well. It is 2016, not 2015. And I usually do some other formatting to this, but this is fine. MIT license is pretty permissive, which is cool. A way for people to know how to contribute, or at least guidelines for them to follow. I don't generally have guidelines for people to follow to contribute to stuff, because I'm happy just to merge things in and then to do whatever formatting is necessary, because the fewer barriers to entry I create for people, the more likely they are to contribute more. So anyway, contributing, all contributions are welcome. Fine. Then we have a Travis file. Now this connects our code to Travis. I don't know if I do want to upload code coverage to this. Actually, I do, totally. And I expect it not to fail on PHP 7, and I only want to run this on master. Fine. And then scrutinizer, expect code coverage, check for these things, and check tests and source. Excuse me. Okay, so let's add these files and push that up. And then we should have a repo over here. assertchris SparkPost API concept. Was this the repo? Oh, I have an extra P in there. What was this remote? SparkPost API concept. I think that's right. Is that right? In the meantime, I'll go to these other ones because GitHub is a little taxed at the moment. So Travis, let's see. Let's add this repository. It's this one over here. So not to an organization, but let's add it there, and it is a PHP repository and add. Then to Travis, we will add, let me just move this to the other window because I'm not sure what info it's going to show. Wow, I have access to a lot of repositories, it seems. Okay, and this is SparkPost. Where is this? SparkPost API concept. There we go. Whee. So when I go back to the root of that, now this is going to, oh heavens, it hasn't waited for code coverage on the first inspection, which is okay, maybe. What files do we have here? We should see our new files here. Also, you probably want to have more meaningful commit messages than work in progress. But that's just what I do when I'm under time pressure. Oh, excuses, excuses. What's this HTTP adapter nonsense here? Why is that a dependency of this code? It totally is. Whoa, gross. Okay, I forgot to remove the original SDK dependency, so there is that. GitHub's really struggling at the moment. I'm going to cancel this inspection because it doesn't need to inspect all those dependencies. And I'll just go to settings. Hopefully this isn't one of the laboring pages. It really is. GitHub's having some issues right now, it seems. I wonder what's causing this. Connectivity issues. Do they have a reason? Oh well, GitHub's having issues. So we have some files here. There's a very clear path of things to do, which is to check that the scrutinizer inspection runs. And to do that, you can go to webhooks and services, and you can check each service. Anyway, add it to scrutinizer, add it to Travis, and then go to webhooks and services and edit each of those services. So edit Travis and edit scrutinizer, and there will be buttons there to send test payloads or to test the integration. When you do that, it'll trigger builds on scrutinizer and Travis. And because of how we set up the scrutinizer config file, or the Travis config file rather, it will download scrutinizer's code coverage upload tool, and it will upload the coverage file to scrutinizer. So scrutinizer will be able to tell what's happened with our code coverage. If we hit edit here, I think I'll have to authenticate. I'm sorry to do this, GitHub. I'm sorry to do this. Anyway, Travis will upload the code coverage to scrutinizer on a successful test. And then scrutinizer, because it checks code rating, or sorry, waits for external code coverage, will actually have a measure there. It will say you've got 80% or 60% or whatever it is. But I'm probably not going to be able to do this right now because GitHub outage and stuff, and actually have a valid reason. And I had a kind of long part 1 and part 2, so I think I'm going to call it there. Thank you very much for being here, and I hope you found this interesting, because I certainly enjoyed working on it a bit. Don't forget to hit that follow button if you want to see more streams like this. And that would be great. You'll get email notifications when I go live, which is cool. And I usually do PHP and JavaScript code. Ask me in comments and chat. Talk to me there. Talk to me on Twitter. Also, assertchris, if you want to, rather. And check out the archives, which I will go to YouTube and show you where that is. If you search YouTube, wow, that's really small. You can go to this URL. Wow, which I'll put in chat. This is actually where I store all the archives for the videos that I do. Which is cool. So you can check the stuff there if you missed the live streams. Thank you for being here. I'm going to go now. Have a great day, morning, evening, night, wherever you are, and keep coding and being awesome. I'll see you later.